Amina was only 22 when she gave birth to her first child, a boy she named Daniel. She had always dreamed of motherhood, soft lullabies, warm smiles, and the joy of holding a healthy baby. But when Daniel entered the world, everything was different. The doctor's words still echoed in her ears. "Your son has a disability. His legs are not fully developed. He may never walk, and he will need special care." Amina's chest tightened. The news was heavier than she could carry. She glanced at the tiny boy in her arms, his fragile body, his searching eyes. Love and fear battled within her. She wanted to protect him, but questions tore her apart. How will I raise him alone? How will I survive with no money? What will people say? Her family's reaction didn't help. Her mother sighed in disappointment. "A child like this will bring you nothing but suffering. You're too young. How can you manage this burden?" Her father avoided looking at the baby at all. Neighbors whispered when they saw her, "Poor girl, cursed, unlucky." Amina loved Daniel, but every day the weight of shame and poverty pressed harder on her. Sleepless nights turned into endless tears. She began to believe what everyone said, that Daniel would ruin her life, that she was not strong enough to raise him. One rainy night, after hours of listening to his soft cries, she made the choice that would haunt her forever. She wrapped Daniel in a blanket, kissed his forehead, and walked through the dark streets to a small orphanage on the edge of town. She placed him on the steps, her hands trembling. "Forgive me, my son," she whispered, her voice breaking. "They will care for you better than I can." Then she walked away, every step heavier than the last, leaving behind the sound of her baby's cries mixing with the falling rain. Years later. Time passed. Amina tried to build a new life. She moved to another town, found work in a small shop, and eventually married a kind man who knew nothing of her secret. They had another child, and from the outside, her life looked normal. But inside, she was never at peace. Every time she saw children playing, she imagined Daniel's face. Every time her younger son stumbled or fell, she felt a deep pang of guilt. What if Daniel had no one to comfort him when he cried? Her husband sometimes noticed her staring into the distance. "What troubles you, Amina?" he would ask. She always shook her head and forced a smile. "Nothing. Just tired." But at night, when everyone slept, she cried silently into her pillow. One afternoon, years later, Amina volunteered at a community event for children with special needs. She thought it would be a simple act of charity, but fate had other plans. The hall buzzed with laughter and excitement. Children were preparing for a small play, dressed in colorful costumes. Amina sat among the audience, clapping politely. Then a boy in a wheelchair rolled onto the stage. His voice was strong, his lines clear, and his smile lit up the room. The supervisor introduced him proudly. "This is Daniel, one of our most talented children." The name hit her like a stone. Amina froze. Her heart raced. She looked closer, those eyes, those familiar dimples when he smiled. She knew instantly. This was her son. Her hands shook as she covered her mouth, tears welling in her eyes. Daniel performed confidently, completely unaware of the woman at the back of the hall staring at him with a mixture of love and regret. After the play, children gathered with their guardians and teachers. Amina couldn't move. She wanted to run to him, hold him, scream his name. But fear rooted her in place. Would he hate me? Would he ever forgive me? That night, she went home and collapsed on her bed. She couldn't sleep. The image of Daniel's smile burned in her mind. Finally, she took out a piece of paper and began to write. "Daniel, I am your mother. I made the worst mistake of my life when I left you. You were never the burden, I was. I was too weak, too afraid, and too blinded by shame to see the strength in you. Not a day has passed that I have not thought of you. Every laughter, every tear, every dream I had carried your face. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even expect you to want me in your life. But I need you to know this, you were always loved. If you ever allow me, I want to spend the rest of my life giving you the love I denied you. Asterisk. She folded the letter carefully, tears staining the paper. The next week, she returned to the orphanage. She asked to see Daniel, but the staff explained that he had been fostered by a kind couple who treated him like their own. Relief washed over her, he had grown up with love, something she had failed to give. Still, she asked if she could deliver a letter to him. After hesitation, the supervisor agreed. Days later, Daniel read the letter. He didn't remember her face, but the words stirred something inside him. For weeks, he avoided replying, unsure of what to feel, anger, curiosity, or longing. Finally, he agreed to meet her. When Amina walked into the meeting room and saw him sitting there, older but still with the same searching eyes, she fell to her knees and wept. "I am so sorry," she whispered. "I will never ask for your forgiveness if you cannot give it. But I am here. Always." Daniel studied her quietly. His voice was calm but heavy. "You left me. But you came back. I don't know how I feel, but maybe we can start with hello." It wasn't forgiveness, not yet. But it was a beginning. And for Amina, that single word, hello, was more than she deserved, yet more than she ever hoped for. From that day on, Amina dedicated herself to Daniel. She attended his events, supported his dreams, and showed him the love she once withheld. The road to forgiveness was long, filled with doubts and pain, but she walked it patiently. Her greatest regret would never disappear, but neither would her determination to make things right. And for the first time in years, she believed that redemption, however late, was still possible.